Hi and welcome to this CATMotion video tutorial. I will show you how to use CATMotion with different layers, and as an example we will create a character walking along and getting stuck on a stone, almost falling down and walking on. So first let's create a cat rig. I will use the base human preset and no special custom rigs, so you can reproduce all the steps very easily. Let's create a CATMotion layer at first and switch to animation mode, so the character is walking with the default walk cycle. And we also need the stone. I will use a simple box here, and a point helper as the path node for CATMotion. So we now can grab this path node in the CATMotion global settings. So path node controls the walk sequence. And we also need to reorient the point helper to match the world. Okay. And yeah, let's animate the point helper. So the character is walking through the stone. So the right leg is clipping through the stone. Yeah, and let's say if you have a fixed position for the stone in the world, you can also adjust the limb faces in the CATMotion global settings with the CATMotion range start time. So you can exactly define when the character is doing the steps. And for this one we can exactly define where the right leg is being stuck on the stone. So this is a good position here. And yeah, we could now animate into an absolute layer and go on with traditional keyframing, but I think CATMotion offers a very much better way to modify the walk cycle. And yeah, in this case it's better to stay in CATMotion and modify the existing animation with a relative layer. But I will not use a relative layer yet, because in this case it's better to use another CATMotion preset, another CATMotion layer here, for the jolting the character is doing when after he's being stuck on the stone. So I have prepared a jolting layer already. This is a very simple customization of the default layer. I will show you in walk and spot how the animation looks. It looks pretty funny, but yeah, it's pretty good for what we use it here for. So let's go back to walk and spot and deactivate the jolting. And let's define the blending where the jolting starts. But first of all, we need a constant movement of the overall walk cycle. So simply select all the keys and set linear interpolation in the curve editor. So we have constant speed now in the whole sequence. Yeah, and as we have changed the interpolation, the position here, the stacking doesn't match anymore. This is quickly fixed. Okay. So this is the point where the jolting begins, where the stacking begins, and we should blend into the jolting at frame 35. So set a key, and let's say the blending should be about 10 frames. So at frame 45, we will set the weighting to 100% of the jolting layer in CATMotion. So the character is walking now and then blending into the jolting layer. And of course we need to blend back here into the walk. Let's say at frame 60 we will set a key, and at frame 90 we will get back to the walk layer. So the blending is 30 frames. And so far we have a very basic animation. And of course we need to add a lot more details to get the look of stacking on the stone. This is not apparently not there yet. Okay, so this is the time where we can add a relative layer to give the animation a lot more detail. So add a relative layer on top of CATMotion, so we can animate on top. And usually I'm creating a selection set for the whole character, for all bones and arcade targets that are being animated. So select all bones and the IK targets, and simply type in rig so I can grab all this stuff and set a key. Also check that you have the correct key filters. I'm usually using position and rotation. So set a key at frame 35. Now let's start to animate to yeah, I will just animate a few things here. Okay, so um, this is okay, the first little part of the animation, of the additional animation in the relative layer. And yeah, let's copy the original pose to frame 60 and create a more extreme pose here at the end of the jolting. A little more forward. And then again back to the original pose at frame 90, where the jolting is completely deactivated. And we already have, yeah, it's already looking much better now. We have more details. We have the look of the character being stuck on the stone. Of course, we should go on and improve a lot of things. So, for example, the overall movement is very linear from the front, especially from the front. As the character is being stuck here, the overall body needs to rotate a little bit. So, what is the best way to do that? If you, of course, you can go on animate and animate in the relative layer, but I think it's much better to use the path node for that one. So first of all, let's create the keys at the basic positions. And yeah, as you start to rotate the path node, all the footprints are adjusted. So for example, let's say, yeah, if you rotate here 60 degrees, he's doing side steps here automatically, where we can later go on and add the character, an animation where the character is looking back to the stone, wondering what's going on there, and then walking on again. But we also, yeah, it's also good to give the path node a more um, extreme and quicker rotation at the start where the character is being stuck. So now, yeah, it's the overall character is kind of yeah, rotating around the stone, which looks much more natural. And at this point, let's say the character is looking back for a little longer time and then walking on again. And we can, yeah, add more detail here with the head movement, so he's looking back exactly. And add this keyframe, I think, a little bit later. Okay, the overall rotation is much better now, but the stacking still needs some improvements. So, for example, the left leg should do a much larger step after the right leg is being stuck on the stone. So you can simply select the foot platform that was generated here at this point for the left leg and move it a little bit forward. So the first step the character is doing after the stacking is a much larger one, and at this point we should also adjust the lifting. So let's set a key here and there and adjust the lifting at this point. So yeah, it's looking much more like he's being stuck. We can add more detail here on the right leg too, so he's not clipping through the stone anymore. And the timing is not correct here for the left leg. Okay, that's better. Yeah, we can also add more details for the arms, for example. So he's pulling the arms a little bit more to the side, to the front, or whatever. Yeah, and we now have more details in the animation, and now we can still go on and adjust the basic animation. So, for example, the character is way too small, too slow here. He should move forward very, very fast there at this point, where he's jolting. So we can simply, yeah, animate the pointer position a little bit further. Okay. I should also still adjust the the animation of the head in the relative layer where the character is looking back to the stone. It's not perfect yet. And we now, yeah, we can go on and add more details and adjust and still adjust the very basics of the animation with the path node and have full flexibility here. This is the power of the power of the system, CATMotion and the layer manager. Yeah, if you like, you can also align this animation to a scene, to a surface where the platforms foot platforms are aligned to the ground, and you can also offset the whole animation. So let's quickly create an example with the plane. Yeah, and add a noise modifier. Pick the point hopper, the stone, and the surface. Move it somewhere, for example. And yeah, go into the CATMotion window, limb settings, limb faces, and pick the ground, so all the footprints are being aligned to the ground. Oh, what's that? Oh, I have keyframed those helpers accidentally, it seems. So we need to reset those in CATMotion. Just go to the limb settings, pick the two footprints and hit select it, reset, and pick ground again. Okay. So we have the animation here aligned onto the surface, and yeah, I hope you got some points here and can use these information to improve your animation workflow. And so I hope you enjoyed this video and see you next time.